Well, Draymond, you equaled Warrior franchise history tonight with 158 playoff appearances. You've been in a lot of them. Tell me about the energy it took to win this one.
It took everything. We know that's a great ball club. They're the number 2 seed for a reason. Great defensive team. They never back down. We got up 20 points, 23 points, and they continue to fight. But that's what we expect. Just takes a consistent effort for 48 minutes, and we can be a lot better.
Give us an idea what you had to deal with in this game, what you're going to have to deal with all series with the defensive rebounding. You're fighting Steven Adams. You're fighting Sengun. How hard is it?
It's tough. That's their MO. You know, they rebound like 60% of misses or something like that. It's crazy. So, you know, at times that's their best offense. You know, they get it on the board and they crash the board. So, you know, we just got to do the job, clean up the loose ones, get the ones we can get. There's a lot of them that we can come up with that we're just not running through the ball, and we need to get those.
As an elder statesman, you always have great perspective. How proud of you were Moses Moody and Brandon Pajemski in the fourth quarter when it mattered most in their first test in the fire?
It was huge to see those guys. Moses is an NBA champion, so he's been through this before. Not as big of a role, but he's played some meaningful games. BP, this is his first time around, you know, but to see those guys step up the way they did, Moses, huge corner three. BP made big plays down the stretch with the finish, getting fouled on the broken play where he went with Thompson, and Thompson tried to take the charge. So, you know, it was great to see those guys step up to the challenge, and we need to do that for 3 more wins.
Talk to me about your mentality offensively and the team mentality, trying to deal with a great defense. They're fifth defensively. They'll throw zones at you all over Steph Curry, all the double teams. What are you thinking coming into these games, trying to find some space for Steph and others?
Just being precise and knowing what we're in. Got to know what we're trying to get to when we're trying to get to it. And I think for us, that's the most. Get to your spots, create space, and then play.
You've played 13 years with him. How about some of the threes Steph Curry hit tonight? I mean, my goodness. Come on, Draymond.
It's crazy. That deep one up there from the Toyota Center, getting the one out of bounds over here. Absolutely insane, but that's why he's the GOAT.
Well, hey, thanks for stopping Warrior history with playoff appearances. You got 4 rings, and you're up 1-0 in the series.
Thanks, appreciate it, guys.
Right, that is the one and only Draymond Green.
All right, let's go back down to Houston, Texas to speak with Brandon Pajemski, who just finished up his first ever playoff game in the second year of his career. Brandon, big-time shots, big-time plays down the stretch. Welcome to Toyota Warriors Postgame Live. Willie Fezzi and myself, Bonte Hill. Tell us what it was like playing in your first ever playoff game as a member of the Golden State Warriors.
It was fun. Obviously, a lot of energy. We're the underdogs, and we will be throughout these playoffs. Obviously, Houston hasn't had a home game or been in the playoffs in a while, so it was electric with the crowd and the environment tonight. But we got veterans that have been there, and then I think our young guys are super mature and act like they've been there. So for me, it was just another game. Obviously, it's more magnitude, but it's just basketball at the end of the day.
Boz, what's it like playing in this game where it got chippy there, down you know, you had a 20-point lead, it got cut down to 3. What's the mentality? What are you guys saying to yourselves in that moment?
I mean, every time we played here, we've been up 20-plus, and we've given up the lead. NBA is a game of runs, and so we knew they were going to punch back at some point. And obviously that's going to be an adjustment that we're going to have to make, especially when they play with Sengun and Adams together, of how can we keep guys off the glass. But that's what the series is about. The best team's going to come out and win, and 1-0 gives us a good chance.
It's 95-85, low-scoring game by you guys' standards. Do you guys feel like you want to try and speed the game up a little bit, or are you comfortable playing this style? Seems like since Jimmy Butler has arrived, you guys have figured out different ways to win.
Yeah, I think we're fit to play both. And, you know, everybody talks about Houston defense, but we're just as capable and we're just as good on that end, too. And so whatever style we got to play, whether it's fast and letting Draymond and Steph play chaotic basketball in their way that they do it, or, you know, slow down and play through Jimmy. Whatever we got to do to win the game is what we're going to do. But I was more impressed with just limiting them to 85 points, taking away what they really wanted to get to. And I think if we keep them off the glass there, they don't even score 70.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Last one for you, Paz. Discuss defending their starting backcourt. Obviously, Jalen Green is a star in this league. Fred VanVleet has won a championship, but you guys have held them to 7-34 from the floor tonight. What was the key to really slowing them down offensively?
Well, I know Moses is always going to do his job, and obviously I've been slacking a little bit, kind of just trying to guard my back a little bit. But it's playoff now; it's go time. I'm letting it loose, and I'm giving it all I got. And so tonight, I think I did a good job of staying in front of my man, and I plan to do that from here on out and help Moses out.
14, 8-5 for you, Paz. Hell of a game, one for you. We'll see you Wednesday night.
Get some rest. 35 minutes tonight. Come on, Paz. Good game.
You're young, Paz. You can play 48 minutes if you want, right?
Hell yeah, appreciate it.
Draymond, was there any moment or example in the game where they were kind of whittling back the lead and having Jimmy out there sort of stabilize the ship? I mean, you've never played a playoff game with him. I know it felt like it, but this was the first one.
Nah, I think, there were several moments, where they cut the lead to 3 one time. They cut it to 7 and, with a chance to, push it over, push it further down. But, did a great job in getting Jimmy the ball. It always just settles the offense down. Even that last one he hit over Sengun. That's what we want. And I think we gotta do an even better job of making sure we're getting him the ball. But overall, man, he's such a huge calming force for us. Just calm everything down, get us to our spots, and get us a good look.
Draymond, you guys have won some tough games, obviously, in the past, but you're known for the threes and the staff and everything. How satisfying is it to win a game that's basically on toughness? It's basically on just keeping them as much as you can off the glass as you did tonight?
It's very satisfying to win any road game, any playoff game in general, but definitely a road playoff win. I think we can play a lot better. That's the encouraging part about it. I don't think we play very well at all, but still got to find a way to win, and we did that with our defense. Held them to 85 points. So playoffs, it don't matter how it looks. You just got to find a way and then get better and come back, with an improved team the next game.
Steve said it felt like 1997 out there with their style of play and how different it is from kind of the modernized, space and pace type game. How is it facing them? And I mean, how do you feel coming out of a game like that where you gave up 22 offensive rebounds, but they scored 85 points?
I said in the post-game interview, at times their best offense is the offensive rebound. They are elite at that. And so, it's something that we expected. I thought we did a decent job in the first half, held them to 7, but then second half it was way out of control. So we got to do a better job there, but, that is their style of play. They rough you up, they grab, they hold, they crash the boards. Very extremely physical team. You got to give them credit. They do a great job of it, So we just got to make sure we're prepared for that coming into every game. But that's who they are, and it is what it is. Every team's got an MO. That's theirs. You got to do what you got to do to try to beat it.
If you had to explain what you guys did tonight to hold them to 85, 50 words or less or whatever, what would you say? And also, what did Stackhouse say to you that one time on the sidelines when?
I think, I think overall we just flew around. We didn't give up any easy looks. We followed our defensive game plan. Just make them take tough shots and, be a lot better off if we can get some rebounds. You hold them to 39% shooting. 34 of those baskets. I mean, they had 34 baskets. 10 of them was on second chance points, on second opportunities, So, we got to do a better job there. But overall, I think we just did a good job of following the game plan, flying around, not giving up easy buckets, and then just reacting to their actions. Stackhouse, he just told me, keep doing what I'm doing. He said, you're doing a great job. We're not worried about what's going on out there, so don't get so caught up in, your emotions during that time. Stay locked in, and so he was great for me.
Draymond, there was a lot of talk entering the series about how good defensively they were and what they were going to do to Steph and all the defenders. As a defensive guy, did you guys feel like you guys wanted to show that you guys can play some defense too? Was that on your minds at all?
No, we're not trying to necessarily show that, oh, man, y'all talking about their defense, but what about ours? We just want to win the game. And we understand that in order to win, you got to defend at a high level. They're the number 2 seed because they defend at a very high level. You got to give them their credit. A-Man is an incredible defender. Dylan's an incredible defender. Tari Eason's an incredible defender. So, you have to give those guys their credit. Fred's a log. Like, it's very hard to move him. He's kind of very low to the ground, strong as hell. So they play to that advantage. But overall, Steph Curry, he usually finds a way.
When it comes to all the talk about how they guard Steph, do you think that he blocks the noise out or he feeds off of it?
He's a true pro. I'm sure you hear it, today's day and age, it's impossible to not hear anything. You open your phone up, even if you're not looking at something, somebody's going to send you a DM or somebody's going to send you a message of something off Instagram. Like, that's just the nature of the world we live in. So I think it's impossible for anybody to not hear anything. But like I said, at the end of the day, we're not coming out here trying to prove a point. We've been at this for a very long time to try to prove a point because someone said X is pointless. We're trying to win basketball games, and in order for us to win basketball games, it requires Steph Curry to be great, and he was just that.
All week we heard you guys talk about the keys, which were, limiting turnovers to keep them in the half court and doing what you can to prevent them from getting offensive rebounds. The way this game played out, how close was that to what you expected?
Extremely close to what we expected. They get in passing lanes, they pressure the ball, try to speed you up, and they crash the glass. I thought they're going to get some offensive rebounds. This is not a team we're probably going to hold to 7 offensive rebounds for a game. It's hard to do. But in saying that, I thought there were some ones that we can get. And the ones that we can for sure get our hand on, we got to come up with those balls. So, I think, Jesus Christ, it's crazy. Oh, my God. Wow. But we'll watch the film, see where we can be better at it. But overall, it's the fight in us. And we fought to win the game, but we can clean up some of that stuff, and I think we will.
Was that reaction just to their...
No, that reaction was to my words.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. Seemed like they were trying to attack Steph a little bit, pick and roll situations offensively. How do you feel like Steph holds up defensively, and do you think he likes that kind of challenge?
Yeah, I've been here for 13 years. They've been at that for 13 years. I think I'll be around another 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something, whatever it is. I think it'll go on then too. So it is what it is. Steph's a competitor. He know they're going to do that. Take the match up, do the best you can, and everybody else fill in as you may.
Draymond, as you said earlier, it's clear how much Jimmy calms his team on offense. What has he meant? Why has he made such an impact defensively? You guys are #1 rated defense in the league since he joined.
Well, he just allows us to match up differently at times. He allows us to take advantage of different things that offenses could be doing because he's so versatile. You can throw him on bigs at times. You can throw him on point guards. You can kind of move him all over the floor. And so, when you think about an offensive team that can move spots around and get different people in different situations, usually a great offensive team. You add that to the defensive side of the ball where you can move guys around and switch positions, and that, it lifts our defense. So he's been great on that side of the ball as well. He's just been great overall. That's why he's Jimmy Butler, though.
Thank you, Jimmy. Before that, you guys were as physical as you need to be. Did you prepare them for just time to be as physical as possible? And what did you think about just the physical nature of this game?
Did I prepare them for?
Did you say this is going to be physical? So
no, I didn't mention it at all. I totally forgot to tell the team that Houston is really physical and great on the glass. But thanks for the reminder, and I'm gonna mention it before game 2.
You should. How do you rate your guys' ability to be physical and to try to pry and lose that game?
Well, that's obviously their advantage in the series is the size and athleticism and the offensive rebounding. They had 22 of them. We can be better for sure, but they're going to get offensive rebounds in this series. They just are. So we have to keep playing. the possession doesn't end until we get the ball, so we got to keep fighting. I thought there were several loose balls that we didn't grab with two hands with force, so we'll look at those. Similar to the Clipper game last week, where the ball's bouncing around, we're trying to bounce it one time, or maybe we get a rebound and we're so anxious to get in transition, we throw the ball away. We can't have those. If it's a half-court game, I really think our defense can get the job done in this series. But so we can't be, turning it over. We can't give up, a million offensive boards, but they're going to get some for sure.
I was going to kind of ask you about that. I'd say the times you were most upset tonight seemed to be on the.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Times you were most upset tonight seemed to be on a few of those kind of sillier turnovers. I mean, is that kind of what you are hammering in this series?
Yeah.
That is, if it's a clean game, you guys have the advantage.
Yeah, it's they're the best team in the league in the possession game. They got 11 more shots than we did tonight as a result of all those offensive boards. Now we're going to turn them over too, and our defense is excellent. I mean, we just held a hell of a team to 85 points on their home floor. So our defense is big time, and we're going to count on that. But we've got to recognize that we don't need to take chances in this series. We need to be clean with our execution and transition. We don't need to dribble through traffic. We don't need to throw lob passes, to try to get a dunk. We've got to be rock solid. And if we're smart and tough, then I think we're going to be in good shape.
What do you think about the way that Steph handled Houston's defense, missed his first three shots? What got him going, you think?
He was incredible. And, with that type of pressure on him from Thompson and others, he just made some amazing plays and obviously carried us offensively along with Jimmy.
Brandon, Jimmy, and Draymond grabbed offensive rebounds in the last 3 minutes. What changed, or was there something they did differently in those last 3 minutes, or was it just effort?
No, just effort. BP had one where he snuck in and put it back on the glass, and then Draymond ended up with it and laying it in. That was a huge play. We've been a really good offensive rebounding team all year. So we'll get more. We only had 6. I think that's low for us. I think we'll get more next game. Scott?
Sorry. 85 points to the number 2 seed you guys gave up. If you had to explain that to a complete idiot, how would you break that down, essentially, that what you guys did?
Are you talking about yourself? Or?
Yes, I am.
Well, it's they're not a typical modern NBA team, and I think in terms of spreading you out, playing fast, shooting a million threes, they're kind of old school. In many ways, they're in the image of their coach. Ime was a grinder as a player. He was tough and physical, and that's what Houston is. And in this series, you can see they know where their advantage lies, and it's playing Adams a lot, sometimes playing him with Şengün, having everybody crash. So it felt like 1997 out there to me. Completely different NBA game than what we're used to, and we've got to be ready for that. This is what this series is going to be.
Steve, excuse me. I know you felt like you've been playing playoff games for a while, but technically this was Jimmy's first playoff game with the Warriors. Beyond his points, how much did his presence matter? I mean, 23-point lead gets down to 3 or 4, right. But it seemed like he, as you've described for the last 2 months, calmed everybody down.
He has that impact every game. He calms things down. He's very confident. He's very poised. He always believes we're going to win. Jimmy is he's one of the best players in the league, and that's what the best players in the league do. It's not just about scoring or stats. It's about settling the game down, having the presence and the nature to compete and win games like this.
They seem to be trying to attack Steph a little bit with Jalen Green, some one-on-one matchups. Do you think Steph noticed that, and does Steph enjoy it all when he's tested defensively in that way?
One-on-one, Steph, one-on-one.
Steph a little bit with Jalen
Oh,
Green,
yeah,
it seemed
yeah.
like. How do you think he handles that?
Steph's been dealing with this for his entire career. People try to pick on him. He's a really good defender, but one of the reasons everyone tries to pick on him is to try to wear him down because he's so good, obviously offensively. But he's not a weak defender at all. So we don't mind when people go at him. He stays in front. He does a great job, and I thought his defense was excellent tonight.
Steve, I know you touched on the defense, but do you feel with all the talk entering this series about Houston's defense and what they were going to do to you guys that your defense felt like it had something to prove?
I mean, since we got Jimmy, we're I don't know where we ranked, but top 5 for sure, maybe even higher. We feel very confident about our defense. We got a lot of smart players, Draymond anchors it. So we feel really good about our ability to get stops against anybody.
Hi, Coach. Congrats for your victory number 100 in the playoffs. Just if in the very beginning you could imagine to reach those numbers, and also I know that you've been focusing this game, but today was the last game of the first 2 days of the playoffs. Just if you could watch something, if you found something that surprised to you in the other games.
Everybody's good these days. The league is so deep. There's great teams across the board. I think a lot of it has to do with style of play, the skill of the players. Every team has, 10 guys who can make threes. The coaching is great. I just feel like the league is deeper than it's maybe ever been for me. You watch any one of these games today, yesterday, pretty impressive what you're watching. But yeah, I mean, we're just happy to be here and have an opportunity to play meaningful basketball, as Steph talks about, and nothing better than the playoffs. One game, we got lots of good stuff ahead, hopefully, but we know that this is going to be a very tough series. I'm sorry? Yeah, I mean, that's I'm lucky to coach the guys that I do. I mean, players win games. It's our job to try to help them along a little bit here and there. And I've coached Steph Curry and Draymond Green for 11 years. So, of course, we've got a lot of playoff wins. Thank you.